What is up, guys? Today we're going to have a look at how to create new types of potions in Diablo 2 Resurrected. So what am I talking about here? I'm talking about potions like stone skin potions which increase your defense, or magic find potions which increase your magic find for a small amount of time, and essentially other potions like that which add temporary effects to your character. As always, this builds off some of my previous tutorials, so if you haven't seen those, I'll link the playlist up here. So let's dive right in. Here we are in our magicpot.mpq folder. So this is a new mod that I've made. You can see its mods, magicpot.mpq. And as always, this is available in my GitHub, which is linked in the description below, so you can download this and check it out yourself. So we're in our mod directory, we have our mod info, and then if we look at the folder structure, we have data, global, Excel, so this is our data files, and we're concerned with the Misc and the States files. We then have the data, HD, global, UI, items, Misc, potions directory, and this is our sprites for our inventory graphics. Now I'm not going to dive into this because I've covered it in a previous video, and I've linked that video up here. After that, we have our HD items and Items.json. So this is where we add our new items so that we can associate different inventory graphics with it. And then we have this Misc potion magic find potion.json, which is just a copy of the thawing potion.json. So we just copied that existing file and renamed it. So if we have a look in task view, all we did was extract this thawing potion, rename it to magic find potion, and that magic find potion.json, because we just renamed the thawing potion.json, refers back to this thawing potion folder and the model and textures within it. So we don't need to extract those because we're just reusing the ones that are already in the game. And finally, we have our data, local, language, and strings directory, and the item names. This is just to add the strings in that'll show up in the game for our new item. So let's dive right into the Misc.txt. So all we've done in this file is copy the thawing potion row and paste it in at the bottom. So this line 154 is our thawing potion, and I just named it magic find potion here. We then come across to the code, alternate graphics and name strings, and just change them to some unused 3-letter code. So I chose MFP here. And this is what we'll reference in our strings.json, etc. And then we come over a bit more. Now there's not much I've changed here, but it's worth noting that we have things like belt set to 1, meaning that we can insert this potion in our belt. And now we come over to the important columns. So this P spell, state, C state, and stat columns are very important. And as always, I recommend reading the Diablo 2 data file guide. You can find it in task view in your data global Excel directory, and that just describes all the different fields in your different files. So it's very, very handy for figuring out what certain columns actually do. But back to our Misc.txt, we use a P spell of 6 here. Now this is already the same as thawing potion, so we don't actually need to change anything. But what we do need to do is remove the C state 1 and 2 columns and change the state column to potion_magic_find. So this is a code for a new state that we're going to define. And for the C state 1 column, we put in that same code. So we come across to the length column then, and this is 750 frames, which corresponds to 30 seconds because every 25 frames is 1 second. We then set the stat 1 column, which is item_magic bonus. So this is our magic find percentage. So what you can do is check your properties.txt to find different stats that you can modify. So you can see here we had the code magic percentage, which corresponds to the stat item_magic bonus, and that's what we're using here. Now you could add other stuff like damage resist or item armor percentage, or even your fire resist or max fire resist. So there's plenty of different stats that you can use for your potions, giving you a nice variety of different things to try. Then the calculation for this, we just put in 150, it's a straight percentage, so it's just item magic bonus 150 is 150% magic find added to you. We then come across to the spell description and spell description string columns, So we put up one in spell description to say that we do have a description, and then we put in potion magic find desk in here, and this links back to our strings.json so that we can actually put a sentence in here. And there isn't much else here except saying that the different shopkeepers can sell this item, and that it's a permanent store item and allows multi-buy. So that seems pretty simple. What else do we need to do? So we have this state that we need to define, and then we have the descriptions of both the spell description and the actual item code to add to our item string. So on to the states. Now you can see we already had thawing here, which is what was used by the thawing potion. However, we're just going to create a brand new row here called the state potion magic find, so that matches our Misc.txt. Set the ID to 187, so that's just the next ID in the list, but this column is actually ignored because it has an asterisk in front of it. And as we scroll over, you can see we have virtually nothing set in this row. The first thing we have set is this overlay, and this refers to the overlays.txt, but we're just going to reuse the shout overlay. And then we have the stat column, and the stat column we're just going to put in item_magic bonus, which is the exact same stat that we had in this column here. So then we have an on sound and an off sound, and I just chose two of the cow sounds. And basically these are the sounds that play when you enter this state and then exit this state. And finally we have an EOL column, which is an end of line column, and we just have that set to 0. So since we defined a new item, we do have to edit this data.hd items.json, and we've just added a new entry for MFP, which was the code that we used in the Misc.txt, and we have the asset set to potion/magic find potion. Now we could have this set to potion/thawing potion, and we'd just reuse all the assets for that, but I wanted something custom in here, and again check out my previous tutorials to figure out how to do that. And finally we have our data local language strings Item-Names.json, and in here we just have our key MFP. Now I've chosen 70,000 and 70,001 as the ID. Just choose some unused ID that starts at a very high number. So we have our keys in here, MFP for the code, and then potion magic find description, which was our spell description column, and then we have magic find potion and plus 150% magic find. So let's check it out in game. As always, go into your game settings, set mod magic pop-text, and here we are in game. Let's talk to Akara, trade, and we can see now in her inventory we have this magic find potion. So let's buy 2 of those, and what we're going to do is check our stats. So if we check our advanced stats, we can see we have 47% better chance of getting magic items. And now if we drink one of these potions, this should increase to 197%. And listen out for the moo.
No.
And there we go, 197% magic find. So we got our plus 150%, and if we drink a second one, it should remain the exact same. And you can see it did 197%, so we're not doubling and getting like 300% magic find, because it's applying the exact same state to the character. And you can even see that shout aura is around our character, so that's how we know it's active. And in probably like 20 seconds more, that'll go and we'll hear the other moo.
Moo!
And there we go, we just lost the aura, we heard the moo, and we're back down to 47% magic find. So that's it for this guide. It's a nice simple way to add new potions to the game and to experiment around with different states. And looking at that properties.txt, you can see the power of the different stats that you can modify with those potions. So do experiment around and see what you can come up with. Anyway, that's it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, remember to like and subscribe. And if you have any ideas for future videos, do leave me a comment down below. The idea for this video actually did come from one of those comments. And as always, I'll catch you guys in the next video.